Suddenly, the power cut out completely, plunging me into complete darkness and silence. When the power turned back on out of the corner of my eye, I saw something. The recliner rocking back and forth.
The dog had no fur. All that aside, it's the eyes that bothered me the most. They were dead eyes, not reflecting light from the headlights, and were completely black, like an animal that had been dead for a few hours. I was frozen in fear when I walked into the hall because standing parallel to the bathroom was a tall, dark figure who looked like he was wearing a top hat. Welcome to episode 88 of Ghost Hands. Ghost Hands.
88. Can you believe?
That's how many? So about how many hours is that? Quite. Well, we don't know actually, do we? It's quite a long time.
It is, isn't it?
88.
And we just keep
episodes.
cracking on.
We've got so much more to go. What are we going to do for our 100th?
Oh, I know. We need to plot something fun.
Go to a strip club or something.
No, thanks.
Do you know what I've never understood things like Magic Mike.
Really?
I cannot understand how that's attractive. I can't.
Yeah,
I've never understood. It's like, woo! And women being like, oh my God. I'm like, that. Sorry.
Yeah. And they're lovely gay men. Like,
well, yeah, exactly.
you know, it's just a bit like.
They're just gay men that don't
Innocent
want to
men.
bang you.
Yeah. Oh, I need to pick a tarot. I know, no, sorry, we're having a chat, but I really want to pick a tarot.
Wow. Someone's lost their head.
No, I just feel a bit like, do you know what it is? There's that jaunty one looking at me.
Which jaunty one?
It's winking at me.
Which one?
Jaunty.
Oh, the jaunty.
Mr. Jaunty.
Is that how you pick your tarot?
Oh, it's looking at me. Look at that. All the rest are not.
Go on then. Well, we've had a chat. We've been banking, haven't we?
Uh-oh. It's a man holding a lot of fucking stabby swords.
Oh, I think we've had... Chuck me the thing. I think we've had that before. Ow! You're so aggressive with your
I think
hands.
this is the 5, 6, 7 of swords. He's got like a fez on, like Ken Dodd, and he's wearing little red
Ken
slippers.
Dodd doesn't wear a fez.
He does.
That
Oh,
wasn't-
Tommy Cooper.
I love that all of your references are to Ken Dodd.
He's also...
Most of them work, to be fair.
Can I also, because we're going to get better at tarot reading, can I guess at what this means? Because what I think this means is it's about balance. And I think this is about holding too much.
I'm going to do Buddy Tarot.
Looking over your shoulder.
I don't like it.
Because what I'm seeing here is someone who has just got too much going on and they're looking behind to see if they can pick up even more swords. And it's all about like finding balance, don't take on too many opportunities.
Right.
Genuinely, I think I've
So
just
you
read
think it's balance?
Yeah, it's about...
It's not.
What's it about?
Did you get it upside down?
Upright,
or?
upright.
Right, okay.
Have I got that right?
Betrayal, deception, getting away with something, acting strategically. The 7 of Swords shows a man sneaking away from a military camp with 5 swords in his arms. He looks over his shoulder at the 2 upright swords he's left behind. The smile on his face suggests that he's proud of himself of having slipped away without being noticed. So
it's like that. So within this episode, we're going to start deceiving.
Well, maybe we're going to start lying to each other.
Wow.
I'm going to read you another one that I've just found because I don't think that really told us what it was. In the 7 of Swords, there's a man that's seen running away from a camp while carrying 5 swords. Behind him, 2 are on the ground, blah, blah, blah. From this image, we can deduce that the 7 of Swords is about stealth, getting away with something, deception or betrayal. The expression on the man's face shows quite a bit of confidence. He seems to be sure of his success on this mission of stealing. I'm worried you're going to steal something from me.
I think I'm going to get a bit nicky.
A bit
Nicki
klepto.
Minaj, yeah, a bit klepty.
Yeah. Have you stolen anything before? We've talked about this before. I stole some earrings from Claire's Accessories once.
Yeah.
And I've accidentally stolen a nail varnish more recently than I cared to admit.
I as I said, I've nicked a banana.
Yes, yeah. Bananas, yeah.
What else? Oh, maybe I'm going to go on the rob. I wouldn't mind.
Can you just get me something?
Yeah, what would you like? Because this is a mutual tarot, isn't it?
I'd probably... Oh, my God, I bought that fucking perfume, but I'd quite like some more of that.
I think I'd be caught there.
It's quite...
I'd get you
they're on
something
you
in the
the second you
£5
walk
range
in.
of Superdrug. That's more...
Okay, well, a lip oil then.
Yeah.
A Rimmel lip oil.
Yeah, I'll get you a Rimmel lip oil.
All right, yeah, that's about
Sort you out.
£4.50 actually.
Yeah.
So again, the Seven of Swords in general is said to be about betrayal and deception. When you get this card, it may imply that you or someone else in your life is having difficulty with getting away with something. You look really suspicious. You're like this. Oh, well, I wonder what that
Doesn't
could be.
ring any bells.
You look like you know exactly what it is. There are instances when we are forced to be sneaky, hoping that we will not be discovered. When we are found out, we have to face the consequences, whether it's embarrassment, punishment, or worse. Sometimes this happens when there are instances when you had to think on your feet and did something that was somewhat shrewd and out of character. Now there is a danger of your secret coming out.
Wow.
Have you got a secret?
No, but it's sort of...
Well, have you got a secret? No. Thank you.
No, it's something we discussed on Patreon. Sharp.
Oh, faux.
Faux.
Shart.
Bow.
No one's ever... Shart. It sounds like you've sharted and you're trying not to tell anyone. Sounds like you shat your pants.
Okay. Shall we? So this is another listener SPESHY.
Because we've just got so many, we have to start doing more because otherwise we're never going to get round everybody. And we do want to get round everybody.
What a sneaky little fuck this guy is. I like him.
Are you into sneaky?
Yeah, I like sneaky.
I just don't think you're that good at it.
Do you not think?
No.
Well, how do you know? I've been deceiving you all this time.
I know. If you were, that would be very good. But I've seen you in situations where you're under a bit of pressure, and it's so you sweat your bag off. You're like, you don't know what you're doing.
Wait, when did you see me sweat?
Oh, so many situations.
Like what?
I can't remember, but loads of times. There's so
You're
many
making
times.
me out to be a really sweaty bitch.
No, you're not. No, but you can see that you just do not. You under pressure, you're not calm, cool, and collected. You're like,
yeah, because you're trying to scare the shit out of me most of the time.
Yeah. Okay. Story? Shall I do a story?
Yeah.
Come on, let's go. Let's be having you. Okay, so this is from Hannah. I did that like...
Really?
Yeah, I did that like, take
you know
this
what it is?
and
I'm
this.
still on this. I think it's because I'm not a very good liar.
Yeah, I think to deceive, you do have to have some skills in that department.
You do. But like when I play like card games where I have to deceive, I'm good. But maybe in IRL...
Yeah, because... you can't, because card games don't count because there's no guilt and you're allowed to be doing that's the point of the game. So the whole point is whether or not you can deal with guilt.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Is this like traitor talk?
Well, I don't think it's that hard to lie to people when it's a game.
Right. So
and I've always been very good at things like Secret Hitler and all those kind of games. I've always been
really
very good at them.
that.
But
I'm
because
almost
there's no
too
risk,
good. It's made me think that I'm a psychopath.
No, there's no risk. Everyone's good at it, or should be, because that's the whole point. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? It's like if I were to be an actor, I would want to play like a murderer or like someone who's a real psychopath because, and I think I could do that quite well. But that's because you're given permission to do it.
That's interesting. So you're like, actually, I'm going to be a really serious actor.
Yeah, I'm going to be an actor now.
Playing a serial killer.
No, that would be my choice.
Really?
Because it's just a bit of fun, innit? You're not going to act like that in real life. You're not going to be the bad guy in real life because that would be awful. But you know, if you've got no guilt, it's nice. It's a nice bit of fun.
Bit of fun.
I imagine that's what serial killers think.
I'm just wondering how I'm going to deceive you. I feel like a betrayal's coming.
What are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I've betrayed already.
Imagine if she woke up tomorrow, my whole bank balance, but Susan's like, ha, bah!
Or that on Instagram, I'm like, can't wait to start this other podcast.
Oh my God. If you do, though, I'm going to start another podcast.
No, don't.
I'm going to.
But it also doesn't say, that card doesn't mean that I will do it. It means that you might already have plans to do it. It
definitely says that you.
No, it says you or someone else is currently deceiving.
Yeah. Do you think I can be asked?
Well, you better
Do you
fucking
honestly
not.
think I've got the time or the the inclination? I can't be. But I've spent 3 days watching Vanderpump Rules non-stop. It's rotted my fucking brain. I cannot tell you how bad it is. Adam was like, "Please, can we turn it off?" And I'm like, "No, I have to finish it now. I have to because it's taking it. I can't do a little bit here.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm going back to Stoke-on-Trent tonight, and I plan on finishing.
There's no way you're going to
4
be doing another
seasons
pod
in the next.
unless you're really good at lying, and all this time you've been watching Vanderpump Rules.
Oh, I do a Vanderpump Rules pod.
Yeah, to be fair,
Does anybody watch Vanderpump
I'd allow
Rules?
that because it's so niche and I have no interest.
Maybe I will do a Vanderpump Rules.
No, I actually
pod.
don't like the idea of it.
I just love talking about it, and I cried at it the other day. I cried.
Yeah, well, you're very into it, aren't you?
Well, oh my God. Right. Adam pissed me. If you don't watch Vanderpump Rules and you haven't, or if you do watch Vanderpump Rules and you haven't watched all of it, then skip ahead like 1 minute. So I'm watching Vanderpump Rules, right? Spoiler alert, it's coming. I was watching Vanderpump Rules, and I know that something happens in Vanderpump Rules. I know that something big happens with one of the characters called Tom Sandoval. And I didn't know what it was. Cock Sandbags.
Cock Sandoballs.
I know that something big happens with one of the characters, Tom Sandoval, right? So I was like, and I think it's a cheating thing because he's got a long-term girlfriend. She's amazing. I think it's a cheating scandal. So I said to Adam, I think that he's cheated on her. And I don't know who with, so I'm gonna. And he was like, "All right, I'm gonna Google it." And I was like, "Oh yeah, okay." And then he went, "So, who's Raquel?" And I was like,
Oh, for God's sake!
"Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, that's outrageous.
I went, "Are you fucking?" And he was genuinely was like, "What?" And I was like, "I'm not a fucking idiot, Adam.
Yeah.
I know what you. I know that means that he shagged Raquel." And he was like, "No."
That's
I could have
so
fucking murdered him.
annoying.
I went and I was
Also,
like, what are you watching?
he's not stupid. Why has he done that?
I think he just kind of forgot. He went, "Who's Raquel?" And I was like,
Oh, the absolute
I think
idiot.
he did look up at me and kind of look in terror because he wouldn't do that on purpose.
Yeah.
There's no way he'd know that I would fucking kill him. I think he just went, "Oh, who's Raquel?" And I was
then
like,
realised his grave
"You
mistake.
shitting me?" So now, ruined. I've spent hours of my life. There's 11 seasons, 22 episodes, and I'm on season 7.
How far away are you from the big debacle?
Well, I'm not sure, but it's going to happen in the next 3 seasons.
Oh, shit. That's really annoying.
I know, I'm really disappointed.
And do you know who insert name is?
Raquel?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, she's in it, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
It's very annoying because I was listening to Morbid and they
hate
were
to
talking about it
spoil
in it, and then I was like, I couldn't remember what they were talking about, but I knew it was about this because I didn't watch it then, and now I do. I'm into it. Now I know. Now I know. Bastard. Thanks, Adam. for nothing.
Maybe I'll try and watch one so I can
Do you
understand
like
your
shit
brain.
TV?
Yeah, I never find the time to sit down and actually do the hours. But once I'm into it, I like it.
It's one of those things. If you're doing something, if you're literally just chilling, have it on the background. If you're cleaning, have it on in the background because you don't need to be watching it. It's some of it's filler, some of it's not. But it's kind of like hanging around with your toxic friends.
Yeah, nice.
But nothing bad
like
ever happens to you. So
I
it's
saw
fun.
a really good film.
What was it?
It's called Good Grief, and it's you know Dan Levy from Schitt's Creek.
Yes,
And
amazing.
he's gorgeous, and he's just. I love him.
I've got a massive crush on him. I think he's so fit.
Oh, and he's just the nicest guy. Like in interviews, I listened to his
He's so attractive. It's outrageous.
I know.
He's
Such
gorgeous.
a shame, isn't it?
You definitely can't say that.
What?
You mean? No, I think he's bisexual.
Is he?
Yeah, I believe so. Because his character in Schitt's Creek was bisexual, and I think he did that because he's a bisexual man.
Oh.
Yeah, but I definitely don't think you can technically say that's a shame. But we're educating Susie.
No,
educating.
you can. It's a shame because I just thought he was gay.
No, could you think that there's a chance that you're going to run into Dan Levy on the street and you're going to be like, "Oh my God, if you weren't gay, we could have."
Yeah, we'd have
built a family together.
Yeah, we'd definitely build a family.
I love him. I think he's gorgeous.
So gorgeous. So you'll love this film. I actually think you'll love it. Is it a comedy? So it's his feature film debut.
I think I remember seeing it actually.
Yeah, and it's now on Netflix. It's called Good Grief. And do you know what? It's got elements of Bridget Jones.
Oh.
It's also a bit sad, but it's really heartwarming.
Oh, I do know what it is.
And
I need to watch it.
Yeah, and it's like it starts off. So there's no spoilers. It starts off with his husband dying.
Yes, I do remember that.
And that's the whole premise of the film. It's about a man who is coping with the death of his husband, and it's about like the unraveling and like the things that happen afterwards, and like things are found out and blah, blah, blah. And it's so good. Like the 2 friends that he has in it, because it's also like an ode to friendship, and it's fucking great.
Is it safe to watch with your parents?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
really wholesome.
So I could watch it with my mum?
could, yeah,
okay,
definitely.
There's no, like, full-on...
It's not like Baby Reindeer.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. What does that say, Susie? Oh, it just says, I'd like to spaff on your face, Mum.
Yeah.
Thank you. Right, shall we crack on with a story?
Yeah, sorry, yeah.
This is from Hannah. Gorgeous. Hey, Huns, I love listening to your podcast. It truly makes my day. I've personally had many odd and unexplained experiences in my life, mostly out in the wilderness while hunting.
Oh, Hannah, go on.
For food.
All right, Hunger Games.
But there's one in particular. All right, Hunger Games. All right, Peter. Peter. But there's one in particular that has stuck with me and bothers me more than the rest because I cannot make sense of it and I would like to share it with you. We live in rural Idaho.
Idaho.
My mother-in-law
Idaho?
also...
No, YoudaHo.
How long have you been sitting on that one?
I think I've said that on the pod before, I'm sure.
Have you? It's good. It's
full
good.
of shit
It's
and I
good.
don't like change.
My mother-in-law also moved here to help with the kids and be around us more. She's been living at a campground in a very nice fifth wheel. What does that mean? What? Near the interstate, about 15 miles away. What does that mean?
What?
She lives in a fifth wheel. What?
Maybe it's a chain of hotels.
I thought it was... Oh my God,
A
imagine
big
this
wheel.
then. I thought
She lives in a
it was an
tyre.
old... No.
In a big
I
shoe.
thought... It's almost a Hubbard. No, I thought it was like an old, decrepit theme park where you just live in the
fun.
rides.
Amusement park.
Yeah, where you live in one of the little capsules.
That's
Okay.
probably not what it is, but
No,
carry
but
on.
I don't know. But Katya, could you please email me and tell me what that means?
Idaho.
YoudaHo. Very good.
It's a caravan, says
so
Tim.
what's a fifth wheel? Right, it's a trailer park.
It's a trailer park.
Right, so a fifth
Thank you,
wheel
Tim.
is a caravan.
Ow.
Okay, so she lives near the interstate, about 15 miles away. My husband, daughters and I had visited for dinner and we left around 11 p.m. By the time we pulled out of the campground and onto the frontage road, the girls had fallen asleep. We were only driving about 2 minutes just listening to the radio when I see something in the distance standing in the middle of the road. It looked like a dog. Keep in mind, the frontage road had a few houses along it and it does run right next to the interstate. Not a great place to leave your dog loose. My husband was only driving about 40 miles per hour. As we got closer to the dog, I started to realise that something wasn't right about it. It was solid white and looked very thin. It was about the size of a standard medium to large breed dog. Closer we got, I started to notice it was almost skeletal looking. With skin that didn't fit it right. It didn't have ears, just a skull wrapped in skin. 2 sizes too small. The dog had no fur. All that aside, it's the eyes that bothered me the most. They were dead eyes. Not reflecting light from the headlights, and were completely black. Like an animal that had been dead for a few hours. The creature was trotting right towards our truck now in a perfectly straight line. When it was just about to disappear from view below the hood, it never wavered and never slowed down or sped up, but it looked up for a moment directly at me. I gasped and grabbed my husband's arm, bracing to hit the dog. There was no way we wouldn't hit the thing at this point, but there was no thud. Did I imagine it? Too many beers with dinner? Am I just tired? I was thinking I was crazy. I looked over at my husband who was driving and he looked back at me pale, wide-eyed and said, "What the fuck was that?" My husband's a tough, gruff guy who isn't scared of anything. He doesn't believe in the paranormal nearly as much as I do. He just believes there are odd things in this world that can't necessarily be explained. We talked the whole way home. Yeah, me too. Sometimes things are meant to be a mystery. You know what I mean?
Not meant to dig too deep.
Not meant to dig. We talked the whole way home and he described the exact same creature that I saw. We couldn't figure out how we did not hit it. We were determined it was basically impossible. When we got home, we jumped out of the truck and looked all over the bumper and underneath the truck trying to find any blood or fur or skin or anything that would explain it. Maybe thinking maybe we just didn't hear it. There was nothing. We drove back there the next day and there were no dead dogs on the side of the road, no white dogs in any of the yards nearby. This was over a year ago and we still talk about it from time to time to this day. Was it a dog with mange?
Mange.
Was it a dog with mange?
The dog got manga.
The dog's a cartoonist. Maybe blind and deaf, or was it something else completely? Thank you so much for reading and keep up with the podcast. We love it. Much love, Hannah. P.S. You can use my name if you like.
Hannah.
That is. Whenever there's another, if somebody else sees it, I don't know what to say to you.
Well, do you think that's like a cryptid story of like it's a demonic dog, or not even demonic, as in cryptid as in it's a creature that is in the woods that no one has...
That we just don't know about, like the pig man.
Like Pigman, yeah.
And the black-eyed kids.
Or is it like a demon dog that is like an omen or something?
I don't know, but there are some weird... I think like there's all these glitch things, like he's from another world or something. Because do you believe that aliens exist?
I do, yeah.
What if?
I do like 98%.
What if these animals are things that, like, you know how we sent, like, the apes up there to, like, live on the moon? Whatever they did. Don't think they did that.
I'm willing to go along with you.
They sent the monkeys up, didn't they? They sent the monkeys somewhere into space.
What, the band?
The band? What do you mean? Yeah, they sent the monkeys. Hey, we're the monkeys. No, they sent apes up. They sent little fucking monkeys out into space.
Right.
So maybe these weird animals and cryptids are creatures from another world that have been sent to us.
I don't think I believe that.
Wow. Okay, because the rest of the podcast is so believable.
Get back in your box.
No, that's a bit too unrealistic. We were 88 episodes in, and you're like, no.
No, it's not that I do believe in aliens. I just don't think they've probably visited, but not in the way of like the little men with the big eyes.
I didn't say that. I said animals. Hannah, come on.
Hannah, stop going on about these little men with big eyes, all right?
I think they probably look like humans, just no clothes.
Yeah, maybe. It would be terrifying seeing an alien, wouldn't it?
Well, I think I'd see it and think, oh, that's fake.
But
well, if it looked like
like a
classic...
skinwalker kind of weird eyes, I'd fucking freak out.
That's what you said. I'd fuck it.
I'd fuck it.
Imagine seeing an alien. Yeah, I do. I'd fuck it.
Because, look, that's a good experiment, isn't it?
Not a bad one, yeah. I'd fuck it. That is so funny. If I was to see an alien, I'd give it a good fucking... Get on top of that thing and ride it till dawn.
What? You'd get an STD of some...
No, you get something,
You'd
mate.
get something.
Pregnancy. And I tell you what, the one thing worse than being pregnant with a natural child is probably an alien baby. Yeah.
This is my alien baby.
Although it would make the pod very good.
Good. So as you heard here, now I will shag an alien.
Any aliens listening, Susie gives full consent. Don't even bother waking her up. Just go right ahead and slide on in.
Oh, God. That's vile. You
Cavernous.
Need to... Okay. So, this is from Ash. What's up, Huns?
Oh, I love that.
I'm Ashton. I'm a huge fan of your podcast. Despite being only 24, I've had my share of paranormal encounters. You know what I meant.
Fair share.
Yeah. Yet, the one I'm about to share with you is by far the scariest and entirely true. I was 15 years old, living with my grandparents in North Georgia. Or it could be Georgia. Like the Russian one.
Yeah, it always confuses me that. I think it's it's Georgia.
North Georgia.
Georgia.
One day my
On
grandmother...
the midnight train to Georgia.
On the midnight train to Georgia.
I'm leaving. Yeah.
I'm leaving.
On the midnight train to Georgia. I think it's that one.
Okay. I was 15 years old, living with my grandparents in North Georgia. One day, my grandmother spotted an ad in the paper offering a free recliner.
Fit.
Since we didn't have one, she urged my grandfather and I to go and get it. I totally get it. I fucking love free stuff.
Yeah, free recliner.
Oh, free
Is that
recliner.
the one where you lie back and you go...
Yeah, it's like a little sun lounger, isn't it?
Yeah, like the seats at the cinema.
Oh. Since we didn't have one, she urged my grandfather and I to go and get it. When my grandfather called the number listed, the phone was answered.
The phone was answered.
The phone was answered instantly.
Just won't let anyone get away with anything.
A bit odd, I thought. The elderly lady on the other end sounded eager to get rid of the chair, urging us to pick it up that very day. A detail we hadn't thought much about at the time. Arriving at the woman's house, she sat in a wheelchair in her open garage next to the recliner, relieved that we had come to take it off her hands. Once home? No.
Once hoe?
Once a hoe, always a hoe.
Yeah.
IDAHO.
YoudaHo, she'daho.
In North Georgia. Urgent in her efforts to help us.
Do you think there's a county called She's a Slag?
That's where you live.
Ida Slag.
That's where you grew up and live.
Ida Slag.
Ida Slag. Ida Slag. Urgent in her efforts to help us, once home, we set it up in the living room next to the sofa. In the following weeks, odd occurrences took place. Keys went missing, items strangely moved, and oddly enough, the wall clock's hands stuck, pointing at 3 a.m. We dismissed these incidents as mere coincidences. With my grandparents working night shifts, I found myself alone most nights. One night, around 10 p.m, while watching TV in my room, a noise from the connected bathroom startled me. Alone in the house, I brushed it off as my imagination, but when the toilet flushed on its own, I couldn't shake off the chill crawling up my spine. Creeped out, I walked to the bathroom door where I hesitated to open the door. I walked into the bathroom to find nothing. Nothing out of place, other than the toilet swishing with water still. I called my grandfather to tell him what happened, but he brushed it off to poor plumbing, probably caused by the blistering cold weather outside. Later that night, as I sat in the living room watching TV when I started to doze off, an unsettling sensation crept over me as I noticed when I closed my eyes, the darkness seemed to envelop me. It was odd because it seemed almost too dark, as if the lights in the room weren't even on. It unnerved me. I was probably just paranoid, but I decided to close my eyes for a few seconds and then barely open them. I was sure it was just paranoia until the lights actually went out when I closed my eyes. Terrified, I pretended not to notice, but the fear gnawed at me. Suddenly, the power cut out completely, plunging me into complete darkness and silence. When the power turned back on out of the corner of my eye, I saw something. The recliner rocking back and forth, with a shadow figure sat looking straight at me.
Oh.
Paralysed with fear. This is like the woman in black.
Yeah, gross.
Paralysed with fear, I slowly turned my head, locking eyes with it. Horrified, I screamed and stumbled into the kitchen where I felt a presence lurking in the living room. With my back against the oven, the shadow figure then appeared to walk around the corner of the kitchen to face me. Oh my God, it's followed. The heat of the oven burning my back, I was too scared to move. I was fucking terrified. I wasn't a religious kid, but I remember yelling out of fear, "This is a house of God, get the fuck out!" I felt as if a small gust of wind blew through the kitchen, causing things to fall off the counter and kitchen table and flinging open the cabinets. Shortly after, the front doors slammed. The shadow figure then vanished. I never returned to that house. Eventually, my grandparents moved out, leaving the recliner behind. Years later, while passing through the countryside, I decided to stop by the house, and that's when I discovered it had been demolished. The new owner walked up to my car, and after speaking with him, he revealed that the tenants kept leaving without explanation. Baffling him, he called his last tenant and just asked for the reason they moved out. They explained nightly sightings of a shadow figure who appeared to sit on their furniture and stare. Needless to say, that shook me to my core. Thank you for sharing my story, and I absolutely love listening to the podcast. Much love.
Very nice.
Ash.
I don't like that. Thank you.
That's a haunted object, isn't it?
Yeah, that's minging.
I mean, wherever that
That's
recliner
rude.
goes, you'd have to burn that recliner, wouldn't you?
I don't like the rocking.
The rocking.
It does remind me of
Well,
the
do you know
one in
what I
black.
would
It's
do
very
if that
scary.
happened? I would go find the woman who sold it.
Oh yeah, and be like, "What's this about, bitch?"
Yeah, you do some investigation.
Yes.
I want to know what she's seen.
Yeah, come back
What's
to us.
happened to that recliner? Anyway, you got one?
I've got another one for you. Hey, Hannah and Susie, I sent this once before, but wanted to resend to include a little feature on Huns After Dark, which is on Patreon. Since joining Patreon too, sorry about that. Obsessed with the pod, got my mum into it, who's writing this with me and keeping me right. I also am dragging my boyfriend along to the Fringe in August. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Love it.
My mum has so many creepy stories, many of which revolve around my grand's old flat, R.I.P. Matty. They lived there. I love that. That's such a cool name, Matty, for a girl, isn't it? I remember when I was younger, I wanted to be called Matty, mainly because of Matty from Busted.
That's weird.
Used to really fancy Charlie from. Do you know I've still?
Everyone fancied Charlie.
I did that because no one did in my school. It was only me. They were like, "Oh, he's got stupid eyebrows."
Oh no, I fancy. Well, he was the posh boy, wasn't he?
I was absolutely obsessed with him.
Yeah.
I remember my dad telling me he was gay, and I cried.
I think you said this.
Yeah,
He said it was joke,
I
right?
think he did it with Will. I think he did it with Will. What's his name? Will, who won...
Will Young.
Yes, he did it with Will Young as well. He told me, and I don't know why I didn't clock on. Really.
But Will Young is gay.
Oh yeah, he is. But he did it with Charlie as well. So I think maybe he told me he saw when Will Young came out, and then told me, and then just told me Charlie was gay anyway, just to upset me.
Oh, of course.
Because obviously I was stupid. I was young and thought there was a chance.
Yeah, you're like.
So I was like, he's never going to love me now. Well, now he's gay. I'm never going to marry him.
Well, you never know. Could be a Dan Levy vibe.
God. Oh yeah, I love Dan Levy. He's so cute.
You're going to love that
I
film.
love eyebrows. Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I do love a strong brow on a man.
Do you?
I must say. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
They lived there. Because Mum's got many creepy stories, many of which revolve around my grand's old flat. They lived there since my mum was 14, and she has always been really sensitive to the paranormal. There was nothing weird or old or Victorian about the flat. It was a standard four in a block in a village just outside Glasgow, which was at one point voted the worst village in Scotland, claim to fucking fame. Growing up, I was always a spooky bitch and liked to scare myself intentionally for the buzz.
Yeah, I fucking love that.
So my mum was pretty okay with me telling her stories. I was told that before my gran moved into the flat. An old couple lived there. The woman died of natural causes, and the old man was so heartbroken he decided to hang himself from the rafters in the loft. Quite romantic, really. My childhood home was next to the flat, and my bedroom was through the wall from my mum's childhood bedroom, where she also had some creepy experiences specifically. One time, I was telling my friend the story at a sleepover when I was about 12. I'm 27 now. And the cord on the blinds...
You said that in a side note.
What? I'm 27
yeah, I was
now.
like, no, you're not.
No, you're not. You're definitely not.
Yeah, you're fucking not.
Tell your face.
Oh, bitch.
And the cord on the blinds started swinging like mad, which freaked me out because it resembles a noose.
Ooh.
Anyway, not the main story, just a happy side note.
Happy?
So... that reminds me of the pendulum.
What?
Like just swinging.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So, following the death of the old man, it was believed that no one dared to go into the loft. There were rumours that from the time the old couple lived there, some of their stuff remained, including an old antique doll, which was likely to be worth a lot of money. Because of this, my mum and her cousins would dare each other to go up and find it. No one ever would. She loved scaring her wee cousins when babysitting them, and one day her cousin Robert.
That's what I'm going to do to the store.
The name was important. To go into the loft for a fiver. Being a young teen, he's thinking, fucking right, I will look, let's go. As he climbed the ladders and popped his head into the loft, the phone started to ring. My mum thought nothing of it and went to answer it. When she answered it, she said, hello, and was met with silence. Confused but not thinking anything of it, she started to put the phone down. As she took it away from her ear, she heard the voice of a young boy crying.
Oh, it's just Hannah giggling. Good? Weird.
Oh, okay. She asked who he was, if he was okay, and if he needed help. The little boy then started to wail, Robert, while sobbing, and then the phone went dead. Safe to say, Robert scurried down the ladders and no one tried going into the loft again, at least not for many years. I used to have sleepovers at the flat as a child all the time, and I was always terrified when it was time to go to sleep. I liked sleeping in the living room with my brother because the spare room, my mum's old bedroom, freaked us out. I'll never forget one time I got up to go to the toilet in the middle of the night, which was at the opposite end of a long, thin hallway. I was frozen in fear when I walked into the hall because standing parallel to the bathroom was a tall, dark figure who looked like he was wearing a top hat.
Oh, no.
It was just a shadow, and I convinced myself I was imagining it and really needed a piss, so I tucked my head down and ran through it. Later in life, I realised that a lot of other people have seen the exact same thing as kids, and it referred to as the Hat Man.
Yes.
What, you've seen the Hat Man?
No, this is a thing. Hat Man's a thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's actually creepy.
Oh.
This is a whole... People see the Hat Man.
Oh.
Careful tonight.
Oh, I don't...
Where are you staying tonight?
My parents' house.
Yeah, you'll see the Hat Man.
The old haunted Edwardian house.
You're gonna get visited.
Oh, great, thanks. There's speculation about his intent, whether it's to protect kids or to harm them. That was a longie, sorry. It absolutely wasn't, and don't worry. I'd fucking scream if you read it out on the part. Love you, Huns. Love, Ainslie and Audrey, my mum.
Oh, hello to all of you guys.
Thank you, Ainslie and Audrey. Are they American?
No, I thought from Glasgow.
Oh, yeah. Ainsley and Audrey.
I love those names.
That was gorgeous.
Yeah, the Hat Man's a thing.
What is it then?
It's like a recurring, like, it's an image that people see.
I'm going to Google it quickly.
There's a man with a hat on. And
the Hat Man.
If he visits, it's
oh my God, seen around the world. The sleep paralysis demon who's seen around the world.
Yeah.
Documented cases.
It's really weird,
Oh
isn't
my
it?
God. Who else has seen the Hat Man? Oh my God, loads of people.
Right.
That's spooky.
Would you like another story?
Yes, please. I'd love one.
This is from Katya. Hiya, Susie and Hannah, in brackets, or Hannah and Susie.
Yeah. Correct.
Correct way to put that last. Whoever reads this, feel free to put your name first. I don't want to pick favourites, but she obviously has because she put Susie and Hannah. So well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, Katya. I love you too.
I'll get that out
You're my favourite too, actually, Katya.
Get that out of the way while I can say the actual one, which is Hannah and Susie.
New to the pod, I first came across the Madison and Crows Part 1 TikTok the day it went up, but I've gotten through all the TikToks and I'm a bit over halfway through the full pod episodes now.
Love that.
I hope to be caught up by the end of the month. So, while I consider myself somewhat sensitive to the paranormal, I've only had a handful of experiences that I really can't explain any other way. 2 being dreams and another waking from a dead sleep when a loved one died, and I wasn't the only family member to startle that morning around that time, well before we were told of the death. I'm also one of the viewers who saw that figure cross behind Susie in that one episode.
What?
There is an episode, and I've seen this on I think it's a YouTube comment, Katya, I can't remember, but there is a moment in I think it's episode 30 something, we're having a chat like this and there is a figure that just passes by.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, well I need to know what it is. I've never seen that.
Yeah.
We must look.
As a little more background, I spent most of my childhood in the Appalachian foothills. I'm in Chicago now, so I've had a few experiences that border between a child's imagination and paranormal infringement.
Fuck.
And I've always been leery of certain behaviours.
That's made me weary.
Wary.
Autocorrect.
Weary of certain behaviours. Wary.
Yeah, same thing.
Anyway. I've always been wary of certain behaviours because there are certain things you just don't do in the woods, on or around those mountains. That story Susie read about the sister hiking and hearing voices calling her struck a serious chord, to be honest.
Was that in the Appalachian Mountains as well? Oh,
yeah.
my God.
My mum, brother and I have always had strong intuitions and sort of clairvoyant type abilities, though my brother's a sceptic. And on my mum's side of the family, there's a diviner, and I seem to have inherited some watcher witch abilities.
Oh, I love that.
Water witch abilities as well.
What a witch.
What a witch. What a witch.
What's a water witch? I want to be a water witch.
Don't know. I'm intrigued. Maybe she'll tell us.
I want to be a water witch.
The specific story I want to share with you involves the grandmother I grew up with, paternal. We, my parents, siblings and I, lived in her house with her until my parents divorced when I was 12. And this grandmother is a large part of the reason I'm a believer in the paranormal, because she had some paranormal experiences that she shared with me. First, she's had a similar warning to Hannah's granddad about Ouija boards, but she did share details. I commented briefly on this when watching the Danny Robbins episode of the pod tonight, so I feel obligated to include it. She told me several times when I expressed interest in witchcraft and divination when I was younger about walking by while 2 friends were on the Ouija board communicating with a JC. And being deeply religious, she immediately thought of Jesus, after which the communication immediately halted. So, though I've been curious about Ouija, rather than put me off trying one or any kind of automatic writing. Did I say that right? Anyway. Her other experience was eerie in a different way. As she told it, she had car trouble one day during an awful rainstorm, and a police car stopped up ahead. She expected the officer to come back and check on her, but he never did. And after another car passed, the police car had vanished. So she surmised it was some sort of angel or guardian protecting her. Anyway, these both made strong impressions on me, so I find that I can't brush off the dream I had shortly after she died. She passed right around July 4th, 2019. It was on the 16th that I had a dream about her. It was reminiscent of the listener experience in episode 33 of the pod. She was younger and watching me. There was more to it, though that's not as vivid now. I have text evidence that I'll attach, else I'll probably not remember the other threads of it. And when I woke up, I was very upset and felt watched to the point I felt watched to the point that I messaged my brother to come downstairs and walk back up with me so I didn't have to cross the dark basement alone. And once upstairs, I immediately texted my father and stepmother to make sure everyone was okay and that my father hadn't had a similar experience since it was his mother. Because although my grandmother seemed well and not angry, I got a sense of frustration or annoyance from the incident. I've not had any further dreams that I remember and no other experiences I can attribute to this grandmother, so I assume it was her way of saying goodbye, checking in on me and maybe getting a message passed to her son. All this to say, I know this isn't particularly provable as a haunting or even all that creepy to qualify as a Creep of the Week story, though I did find it unsettling to have a visit from that particular grandmother, but I just wanted to share my experience with some of the pod's twinging memories. I also feel a bit of a need to apologise for rambling on a bit, though I felt context was necessary.
Absolutely.
Never apologise.
Never apologise.
Feel free to use my name, tag me in your posts on TikTok or Insta, since most of my socials are under my blog or pen name. Feel free to include my text screenshots. I've taken the phone numbers away of my dad and stepmom. Again, love Ghost Huns, and I'm looking forward to catching up and continuing to follow going forward.
Thank you so much.
And then
absolutely stunning.
We do have these. Shall I have a look at these texts?
Yeah, go
on. She's put to her dad, "Is everything okay? I just had a mildly alarming dream involving grandma." And he's put, "I have been sick and had a series of odd dreams. So far, the situation is the same." She's put, "I may be freaked out that she was in the dream in general. I saw her briefly, as young as I remember her ever seeing her. Then she was communicating via phone and I woke up to an unknown phone call. I was having a number of concerns about life in general. There was a sense of annoyance and I may have made Nick come downstairs to walk up with me." And then her dad has said, "Some 20 years later, I still have dreams about my grandfather and his apartment, and mostly it seems like current day, and his apartment and appearance doesn't change. It's freaky as hell. Life in general can be hard sometimes, and why things happen when and how they do never seems to make sense. Always reach out if you wish. We're always here to listen. Thanks. I've been having a mini freak out for the past half hour and felt the need to share. I've sufficiently freaked Nick out and felt much less like I was going to have a heart attack, and I felt better once I texted." Sorry, I'm just looking at the texts. I'm just having a nice time.
Good podcasting.
But
oh wow.
Her dad has said, "We got a call on the house phone around midnight and no one was on the other end. I did a reverse lookup but didn't expect to find anything for something so close to my home number." I think basically it's this weird thing of like, you almost conjure up someone, and if they appear in like a phone call happens and it's like an unknown number and she's had a dream about her young grandma, like that's fucking freaky.
You're like, how many times do you actually get a phone call with no number and no one on the other end? It's not often, and for that to happen at that time is such a gross.
Yeah. And the dad's saying the same things happened, like unknown calls and like
gross.
Fucking
stunning. Well, thank you so much for sending that in. Shall we do We Get Haunted So You Don't Have To?
Yes.
We get haunted so you don't have to. We need something a bit spookier. Okay, I'm going to test you on your homework.
Oh.
So you're going to read my tarot for the next few days while I'm in Stoke. So because we have to get better at it for our live shows, we must.
Yes,
There's going to be some tarot reading in the shows, not to give anything away, but there will be a bit of that. So Susie needs to have been doing her homework. So I'm going to pick 3. Yeah?
Yeah. But remember, we should put him back in.
Oh yeah, we need to put them all back in actually. Do a quick shuffle. Oh God, that looks like shit.
That's hell. I've just created hell.
That's fine. Okay.
Okay. So, is this going to be? I think just what about what you have to set the intention. So, is this about your tomorrow, and then the next one's for your week?
Yeah. Okay. So we're just doing 2.
2, and it's tomorrow and your week to come. And I'm gonna also, when you fucking pluck this card, I'm gonna know what it means. Okay, she's hovering her hand. Okay, which one's which?
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the second one.
Okay, so...
Ooh, I'm so scared. I hate pulling these. It's really scary.
So this one is your tomorrow.
Okay. What?
Well, we've had it before. It's that lonely one walking into the mountain.
Let me see.
She jumped out of my hand.
It did. But you did pick that the wrong way round.
Did I?
Because you went like that and then you turned it round.
So it's reversed walking away, man, is it?
It's never good when we reverse them.
Well,
No, your homework is that you know what that means.
No, okay, fine. That is, you're going home to spend some time alone.
I am.
And that is essentially what that says.
Okay, shall we test you, see if you're right? What was it called?
It's the 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's the 8 of Cups. It's
8 of Cups.
Yeah.
Right, see if you're right. So you're just saying that I am going to have a nice little bit of alone time.
Yeah.
Yeah? Well, you're wrong.
What does it say?
Reversed. Trying one more time, indecision, aimless drifting, walking away. So it's not great. A man walks away from the 8 of Cups, blah, 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 cups, blah, 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 blah. A nearby river symbolises emotions, blah, blah, blah. It means that I'm trying to avoid something. I am tomorrow, which is work and people.
I think maybe what that says, you'll be drifting around listening to Celine with a single tear.
Stunning.
That might be that.
Oh, gorgeous.
Okay,
yeah.
so
right,
now
what's the rest of my week?
This is how your week is going to pan out. Oh my God.
What is it? Is it good or bad?
There's a man in a balaclava feeding nuggets to a tramp.
Oh, sounds great. That's my kink.
Oh,
Let me show me.
That's hot.
Yeah,
that you've got people begging at your fucking feet.
So what, you think that I'm going to go and...
So that is the 6. It's the 6 of stars.
6 of stars. 6 of pentacles.
Pentacles.
Have we ever had that before?
We've never had this before. And he's holding in one hand.
Oh, well. Okay, tell me what you think it is.
I think this means you're going to be charitable.
Right, well, that's quite... The 6 of pentacles shows wealth. Oh,
right, you're divvying up your wealth.
The rest of the week I'm going to be rich, am I?
Well, what does it say?
6 of Pentacles shows a wealthy man dressed in a red robe handing out coins to 2 beggars, so not chicken nuggets, who kneel at his feet. In his left hand he holds a balanced scale representing fairness and equality. Oh, because I'm an inclusive queen.
Yeah.
Aren't I?
You're going to get rich and then give it to me. I think that's what that means.
What, you're the little dog on
I'm
the side
dog
of
who wants your scraps. I want your nuggies.
You can have me nuggets, mate. No problem. Even if you are surrounded by wealth, there will be times when you need the help and support of others, so be generous with your resources, as you may need the support in the future.
Oh, if you don't give me your nuggets, you'll be fucked.
Oh, fuck, I've just remembered it's my fucking brother-in-law's birthday today.
That's all right. You've still got time to wish him well.
I've got to order him a fucking present.
Okay, well, this has been episode 88.
Stunning. Thank you so much.
And as you know, patreon.com/GhostHuns for loads more content.
And if you want to come to Edinburgh, you can come to Edinburgh and you can buy some tickets. But I have to say, they are flying off the shelves.
They are. They're flying.
They are actually flying off the shelves.
We're all going to get so haunted. It's going to be great.
If you're considering it, book them now.
We love you,
This is your sign. We love you. Bye.
Bye. See you next week. Bye.